screw Bad Company and screw this song.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Listography. Jason, Joe, and Crams are here. Songs of the year, 1975. Kind of a weird year, especially on the Billboard Hot 100. Things get really soft rock. A lot of really lightweight stuff on the charts. Flip side of that is albums are getting heavier. It's the year of hard rock. I believe I said that in our Albums of the Year Series 2. Lots of good classic hard rock records in this year. So interesting to see how things play out. I still don't think we're to a point yet where I'm choosing like songs I don't really like from the Hot 100. There's still enough. I like all of my picks, but they're getting fewer and further between. How you guys feel about 75?
Well, there were a lot of contenders for worst song of the year, so I know what you're saying, like Captain and Tennille and stuff like that. Progressing downward for sure, but yeah, I know it's Joe's favorite year, maybe his favorite year ever for albums, and it's not mine, but it's hard to argue against that. It is loaded.
Yeah, I've had no problem, despite the decline of the Billboard charts. My Billboard list is still, everyone is a Stone Cold classic in my mind, and I'm leaving off a whole bunch of other good ones. So yeah, it's one of my favorite years ever. Couple, favorite Zeppelin album, favorite Steely Dan album, top Aerosmith. So, best Pink Floyd album. So there's still a whole lot. And a lot of my favorite songs from those artists or top 3 are in this year too. So it was a tough one.
All right. Well, before we get into picks, quick reminder, we do 5 choices that had to have charted at any point in the year. If they were on the Hot 100 for 1 week, they count. Then we do a second list of wild cards that could have also charted or could have not charted and could be from anywhere. We also do our least favorite top 40 song of the year. And one of our lists will be one song short. We save it for the end. So I think it's Cram's turn to go first.
Sure. Let's kick it off with the Hot 100. There were plenty of good songs to pick from. I'm pretty happy with all the ones I got, but just scrolling the list, you can see that trend that we were talking about into a lot of lameness that's hitting in 75 and going to hit more. The deep cuts this year are just sensational. But all right, so here's what I've got. I've got David Bowie 2 times. I've got Young Americans, which is just one of his best recordings ever. He's out of the glam and into a little bit more pop. You get some more of like the feel-good jazz influence here with just sax all over the place. Just great. The background vocals are tremendous. Just the vibe of the song is absolutely fantastic. In a little bit more of a disco fashion, I've also got David Bowie with Golden Years. Sensational rhythm to this, and Bowie is such a great chameleon. And I mean, this is a style that he presents that is no less or no better than pretty much anything else. I think he does that sleek fashionista kind of style just as good as anyone else, just as good as any other monikers, personality he does. And this one is just so much fun, got such a good groove and beat to it. I love it. I'm also going to go with what Joe alluded to, Toys in the Attic. Breaks my heart it didn't make my Album of the Year nomination, but I've got Sweet Emotion. Glad that charted. A couple songs off of that album I like more that I don't believe charted. Really think No More is an underrated Aerosmith classic, but I couldn't get it on either list, so I'll just shout it out now. But Sweet Emotion, charting, fantastic song, great beat, tremendous rhythm guitar playing, and just like 3 or 4 killer riffs on it. Aerosmith is so underrated, and Steven Tyler just sounds great on it. And just that opening with the harmonies with the Sweet Emotion and the way the guitar just rips in, so cool. Just amazing classic rock. I've also got, from my Album of the Year winner, Born to Run, charted. Absolutely sensational song. It's got that killer guitar sound to it, and it's just so anthemic and big. The E Street Band sounds great with the, ceremonial horns streaking off, and tremendous lyrics all throughout this album, especially on this song. The line about tramps and it's a death trap and everything. It's just so well written. And then finally, from Jason's Album of the Year winner, which was Blood on the Tracks, right? Got to go with Tangled Up in Blue. Sensational, prose from Dylan here. Great storytelling song that is sort of, maybe a bit of a throwback to his earlier 60s Greenwich Village storytelling, folk days, and lyrics are great. I love how it kind of lifts into the chorus with the "I was waiting on the side of the road," and it's got such a little bit of like subtle cheerfulness that comes in and out. It's very cool. It's a great way to lead off that album, and tremendous song on its own. So, I mean, those are 5 just diehard Stone Cold classics that you will still hear to this day, and rightfully so. So it's maybe a better year for the cream of the crop. Thank you. Thank you. The cream rises to the top, but overall, not a lot of great songs on the top 100, but you can't go wrong with those 5. And I'm sure you guys will have some other great ones.
I'm going to kick it off with Paul McCartney and Wings again. I got Listen to What the Man Said from Venus and Mars.
I'm happy. I'm not down on Paul McCartney at all. I don't hate him. Oh, great. Good job, dude. Yeah.
Thanks. Just a really good bouncy pop tune. I love the bass line. You got Dave Mason on guitar on this track. Tom Scott from the Blues Brothers playing the great soprano sax that runs all over the track. Another track with some saxophone on it. I've got a song in common with Cram, Young Americans. One of my favorite songs ever. If not for another track this year, it would have easily taken the top spot, but yeah, it might be top 10, top 15, somewhere in there for my favorite songs of all time. Tremendous groove, great feel, perfectly arranged. I love the congas on it and the sax, of course, and then the great backing vocals, which were arranged and sung on by the great Luther Vandross. It's the very beginning, the first song that Bowie kind of started to experiment with that plastic soul sound, as he called it. My next pick is going to be another song. I think there's some saxophone on this too. I've got Love is the Drug by Roxy Music. Just an incredible groove. The bass line on this is so good. It was named in Stylus Magazine's top 50 bass lines of all time. Nile Rodgers said it was highly influential to his Good Time bass line. Very sort of similar timing and feel on those 2 bass lines. But Brian Ferry's so cool on this track. I also love the bridge section too, where things open up a little. You get a little bit of a break from that constant groove that goes through most of the song. Those cool guitar leads come in during that section. It's awesome. Then I'm going to go with a track from my favorite Elton John album. I got Someone Saved My Life Tonight. Went to number 4. It was the last single for 8 years to feature his incredibly underrated rhythm section of Nigel Olsson and Dee Murray, who were both fired after this record. It's about a real life suicide attempt that he attempted when he was early in the career, 1968. Long John Baldry, I guess, talked him out of it. So the someone is allegedly him. Bernie Taupin found him lying on the floor with trying to kill himself in the oven, leaving the oven on, but he also left the window open, so didn't work. And then my last pick for the Hot 100 is Trampled Underfoot. Funky, groovy rocker, great riff, incredible drumming. JPJ on the clavinet sounds awesome. For a long, long time, this was my favorite Led Zeppelin song. It has been overthrown, though. If you've seen our top 10 Zeppelin songs, you know which song I'm talking about. So we will see if that is to come later in the video. Perhaps.
Perhaps by Doris Day was a song I forgot in the late 50s, early 60s, put on my list, but I do love it.
Yeah, I got no problem so far with anybody's list. My list contains a song that I kind of thought Jason would have. Maybe he'll have it somewhere else. I have Real Man by Todd Rundgren. Todd's a weird guy for me because I just don't love his albums, but some of his songs, he's been knocking at the door a lot on my top lists here, but just missed a couple times. But I love when he kind of gets that like white soul singing voice, and his songs are just so catchy. This one is so layered and cool and has a bunch of cool synth sounds, and it sounds futuristic, but also kind of rooted in that like soul R&B style. Great song. Number 4, I got Born to Run. Of course, Springsteen. I love the construction of this song. Harkens back to, Wall of Sound, Phil Spector, sort of that teenage rebellion. And the beginning when those drums kick in, it just, oh, so great. Love the horns, the guitar, just everything. Also, my list, I got the Eagles. Yep, they're breaking through. Favorite Eagles song, Take It to the Limit. Randy Meisner's wonderful vocals on here. They're damaged, very emotive. It's a waltz, so I love it. I love, it's a really nice waltz. When the Eagles do waltzes, that's when I really take notice. Speaking of my shirt, I'm going to get SOS on here. I love the dichotomy of the real kind of mournful vocals from Agnetha Faltzog, and then kind of the peppier chorus. Everyone loves this song. Pete Townsend, Sex Pistols bass player again, Matlock, Ray Davies, everybody except Jason and Kramzer. So everyone else knows better, though. Number one in the Billboards, got to go to Someone Saved My Life Tonight. Top 10 song for me all time, probably. Really, really close to taking it all this year, but something just beat it out. But I love this song. I love the big octaves in the piano, in the intro, and the drums on this track are so unbelievably good and so loud. It's like gunshots when they really get going. Sort of, it's not really a verse chorus kind of song. It's one of those longer story driven structures. So it's just a really cool song, some of his best vocals. My number one on the Billboard charts, and a fine contender. If anyone has this as their number one, I can't blame you.
All right. Yeah, good lists all around. This is such a loaded year. Some tough cuts I had to make this year. God damn, some tough ones. I already mentioned No More. A lot of stuff of Physical Graffiti. Cashmere's not going to make it. I would imagine if any one of you pick it, it's going to be the winner for the poll. Really wanted to get 10 Years Gone on there from Physical Graffiti, because that middle section has probably my most iconic 70s guitar sound ever. When he does the, have you ever really wanted somebody? It's awesome. But I am going to pick from Physical Graffiti, Down by the Seaside, as one of my deep cut nominees. Love how it just has that big tonal dramatic shift in the middle. I mean, the first part is awesome. It feels so easy and breezy, kind of like their version of yacht rock almost. It's got that great kind of sonar guitar phased out sound almost. It goes like, it's great. Plant sounds amazing. And then it just starts picking up like John Paul Jones is basically with the bass, let me take it from here. And then he's just bum, 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 so far away, so far. And it just takes off. And it's just awesome, earnest hard rock. Such a cool song. Also got a song that Joe and I both love, but Jason did not. And it caused a big hoopla in the comment section. Have a Cigar by Pink Floyd. Absolutely fantastic, incredibly clever and ironic lyrics, taking a big shot at record companies and corporations all at once with the, by the way, which one's Pink line. I love it. It's got such a cool, slow pace to it. Just fantastic. I love the little drum part when he says we all pull together as a team, and it does that little It's so great. Such just really detailed playing to tell the best story of the song. Back to Born to Run. This was my favorite song on the Bruce Springsteen songs list, but it has been overtaken, hint, hint. But I'm going with She's the One. Love the opening piano to it. Probably has the Bruceiest sounding vocals ever. It sounds like Bruce doing an SNL impression of Bruce with with your lipstick, baby. It's awesome. And the song is just relentless from there on out. I mean, the passion is just all over this one. And my favorite song from Blood on the Tracks, Buckets of Rain. I love it. Shelter from Storm is also a great pick, but this one I prefer. I love the way the acoustic guitar sounds here. Whatever the microphone was doing on this to capture just all the just tight little plucking of the string against the wood on the guitar. It sounds like big fat drops of rain hitting a bucket. And the lyrics here are just so good. He's talking about like, I ain't no monkey, but I know what I like. I like the way you go strong and slow. And then just the way the melody goes, it has like such a really cool descending quality at the end of like the verses, where it just makes it so kind of somber and reflective. He's so good at just taking like a few little notes and just kind of like dropping or lifting them to create a mood. And I think this song is a great example of that. And I will save my song of the year.
Yeah, Joe. Real Man just missing my list this year, in 75. Wanted to get it. It was one of my last cuts. All right, we'll get to my wild cards. I'm gonna go with Once Bitten, Twice Shy by Ian Hunter. Forget that Great White nonsense. Ian Hunter goes solo. He takes Mick Ronson with him, who had just joined Mott the Hoople. They put out this great record. The whole thing's really good, but this track really stands out. It has elements of glam, like there's sort of like the tinkling piano and the guitar tone's kind of glammy, but it's much more of like a hard-nosed, straight-ahead rock tune. The lyrics are great. Hunter's delivery is unbelievable, and that is what really gets lost when anyone tries to cover his material. But like in that Great White version, something about the way he sings a song, he delivers it the way no one else can. Then my next pick is going to be This Time Around / Ode to G by Deep Purple. The first half, This Time Around, is a hauntingly beautiful piano ballad sung by Glen Hughes, who is one of my all-time favorite rock vocalists. He gives, I think, his best vocal performance ever on this track. It is unbelievable. There's some really cool synth stuff too, and synth bass happening. Then the second half of the song, the drums build up, everybody kicks in. It's a big long instrumental, and Tommy Bolin just shines. It is some of his best playing. What a 1975 Tommy Bolin had. He put out this record with Deep Purple. He put out a solo record, Teaser. He played on Alphonse Mouzon's Jazz Fusion record and had some incredible work on that record as well. But, as far as his tenure in Purple, though, this is, I think, his shining moment. It is just some of the most unique, cool guitar playing that you'll ever hear. Absolutely love it. Both halves of the song would be worthy of the list on their own, but stitch them together and you got a no doubter. And we're going to get a lot of different Blood on the Track tunes here. Cram had 2 that are not on mine, but I got 2 as well. I've got A Simple Twist of Fate, an interesting song. I think it's one of the last songs on the record that I really took to and fell in love with. At first, I thought the rhyme scheme was too simple, almost predictable. But the more I listened to it and the more I heard it, the more I liked it. I think there's something about the lyrics and his cadence, the chords, the way it all comes together. It just captures a mood perfectly. I think it's a fantastic song. My other Blood on the Tracks pick is going to be You're Gonna Make Me Lonesome When You Go, which I think is an incredible love song. And there's just that little bit of sadness in it, in recognizing that what is ahead, like you're going to leave and I'm going to be sad. But it's just such a cool concept. I mean, just the song title alone is fantastic. And again, like Ian Hunter, Dylan's delivery is so good. The way he sings certain lines, like you might be spoiling me, too much love, and when something's not right, it's wrong. It's just his delivery is so good. Yeah, so those are my 4. I got one left for later on. Joe, what do you got?
Well, I don't got no Bob Dylan, but I do got some great tunes from Aerosmith. I'm going to go with You See Me Crying, maybe the most unique track in their whole catalog. It's kind of like Don't Want to Miss a Thing, but not schlock. It's delivered like Steven Tyler goes into falsetto for the track. He doesn't quite have that Steven Tyler vocal kind of delivery yet. So it's kind of, it's different. It's almost tender. And it's a really just cool song, cool orchestration and stuff. I think it was my second favorite Aerosmith song. We're going to go with my favorite Steely Dan song. Got to get them on the list. Dr. Wu from Katie Lied. We just did the Steely Dan listography, and this one was a bit of a surprise even to me that it made my number 1. But it's really the only song I think that they do where there's real emotion behind it. an actual, like maybe love song, like he really got jilted, or maybe it's just about trying to buy drugs. I don't know exactly, but kind of feel the real in Donald Fagen's vocals on this one. Love it. I had to pick something from Physical Graffiti, my either favorite or second favorite album of all time, last time I checked. And it's so hard. There's so many good tracks that I wanted to pick. And I guess I'm going to go with The Rover. I could have gone with In the Light or Cashmere or 10 Years Gone. They're all so good. Custard Pie, I love. But something about The Rover that just keeps me coming back to it again and again. It's not that complex. You know, it's not like Jimmy Page is playing anything like crazy. There's no like crazy bass line. It's just like a really good rock song. And I just love it. I don't know exactly why, but keep coming back to it. Number 2, my runner-up is going to be a song Cram's already mentioned, Have a Cigar, my favorite Pink Floyd song, not even sung by a member of Pink Floyd, which I think is just so wild, but the lyrics are fantastic, and David Gilmour's guitar is incendiary. The word was invented to describe his guitar playing on this track. I love his like stabs of that icy cold synth from Richard Wright. So great. He's so underrated. His soundscapes, marvelous. But it just misses out. I mean, there's literally, I just named 3 songs in like my top 10 all time. Like this year is insane. All of these tracks are winners in many other years, but not this year.
All right. So 75 might be like, I still think 71's the best year ever, but 75 might make a run for like just like my better top 5 songs. I don't know. It's tough. Probably not. I don't know. Don't ask. Okay. All right. Worst songs, guys. I think this one's going to hurt Jason a little bit because I think you like the song a lot. A lot. I'm going with Nazareth with Love Hurts. Friggin' hate this song. I think it's way too simple and lazy to be part of the royalty that is classic rock radio. And this one still survives airplay to this day. But why? It is a slow slog of just a lousy arpeggio with just boring lyrics, Hallmark lyrics. And then the chorus just being, ooh, love her. It's like, come on, it's so lame. But in the tradition of picking songs that just suck because they are beloved by some, I'm going with Love Hurts by Nazareth. Can't stand it. Really don't like it at all.
I like that as a song, but I don't care for the Nazareth version. Give me the Everly Brothers or Graham Parsons any day of the week over Nazareth. My worst track of the year is Sweet Sticky Thing by the Ohio Players. I don't know. I don't get this one really. There's like a metaphor about bees and like a bunch of bees swarming in your hive. And they said it's about like a promiscuous girl who finally ends up finding love and then regretting her promiscuous past. And I just don't know if the bee metaphor works entirely, especially when you bring the honey into it. And now she's sticky. It starts to get weird. I mean, if you go all in and just make it unabashedly raunchy, maybe it works, but it's got this like really smooth, kind of tender love ballad type of feel to it. I don't know. It's just not working lyrically at all for me. It's a weird song. Also, the album cover, the album that it's on is called Honey, and they had a Playboy model on the cover, and under the lights, the honey hardened and she was essentially glued to a piece of plexiglass, and it took hours to remove her. So I don't know. I think that just adds to kind of the creepiness of this song.
You struggle with bee lyrics. With the National, I was taken to Ohio by a swarm of bees. You struggle with that one too. Anything? You don't get the bee metaphors, do you?
I love that song. I love Blood Buzz. That was in my top 10, but I don't know what he's talking about.
That's what I'm saying. You just don't get. When we do Tom Petty, you're going to be like, what the hell is Honeybee about? I don't get it.
I like Muzzle of Bees a lot by Wilco.
All right, enough of your B talk, Crams. Are my worst top 40 song. Big middle finger to a lot of our fans and listeners. I'm going to Feel Like Making Love by Bad Company. Screw Bad Company and screw this song. It sucks. The lyrics suck. The melody is tiresome, juvenile, just not a great song. Another one from everybody's favorite, Paul Bernard Rogers. Mick Rouse was better when he was in Mott the Hoople, obviously. Hopefully, I feel like people don't really like this song, so hopefully it won't get too many people's bonnets in a bee or bees in their bonnet. It's one of those really lame kind of classic rock songs. It's still on the radio all the time. Never once have I listened to the whole thing on the radio. It's an immediate change. Immediate. It's crap.
Yeah, Bad Company doesn't do it for me either, man. I'm with you.
There's a couple of Bad Company songs I like. The non-hits seem to be better than the radio ones. The ones on the radio never did much. Shooting Stars, okay. Bad Company, the song is probably their best radio hit. Maybe Run with the Pack, but not Feel Like Making Love.
The winners, I predicted Joe and I would be the same. I'm on track to be right, which would be several years we've landed in the same spot. So of all of our bickering in the regular Artists of the Week videos, you're starting to see why we have common ground. When you get 6 or 7 gems and you're like, is there an earthquake going on in your house? Your camera just shook like hell. All right. Speaking of shaking, let's bring on some Thunder Road by Bruce Springsteen. This somehow was not my favorite Springsteen song when we did it, but it really was. And I just wasn't coming to terms with it. But this is one of my favorite songs of all time. It has such an incredible slow build of joy. And it just is the most Springsteen-y song because it's got like that blue collar in the moment, do what you can, romance kind of, ethic to it. And his lyrics on this are just so tremendously descriptive and present about the hardships of now and the bleak yet fleeting glimpse of the future, what it can be, getting in the car and taking off. And the way that it just starts off with that twinkly piano, a little bit of harmonica, and just has a gradual slow build and just gets more intense line by line, and then takes that great little drum fill into that beat, like it's just like a deep breath, and then it just explodes with the sax and everything. 75 is really the year of the sax, it seems like. Tremendous sax everywhere. And it hits all of the heartstrings for you. It's so real and so poetic at the same time. I think it's just fantastic. Once it clicks for you, it is, lifestyle music. This is a song about life, but it's not lifestyle music. Like, it's so much better than that. It's every man, every woman music. It's for the people. It's tremendous. Thunder Road, Bruce Springsteen. Here we go.
All right. My song of the year for 1975. I don't think it'll beat Thunder Road in the poll, but I'm going with It Makes No Difference by the Band. A song that every time I hear it just rips my heart out. Robbie Robertson's guitar leads on this are so aching and yearning, and Rick Danko's vocals are so passionate. It's almost like he's crying the entire song. So much feeling in every instrument. So soulful, and just, I think, one of the band's best songs. Actually, my very favorite band song. I believe it was my number 1. Love this track. Probably a top 10 song 2 years running now in a row with the top 10 song as my winner. And I think you're right. I think Joe's got the same one.
Well, me and Joe both had Makes No Difference in our top 5 band songs. So we're with you, I think. I think we both did.
No, I did not. I don't care much for that song. I have no idea why Jason loves it. One of those weird Jason picks that he's tough to figure out. I'm easy to figure out because Crams there had me pegged the whole time. Tried to throw a little misdirection in the chat earlier this week. It did not work. Thunder Road is my favorite Bruce Springsteen song. And despite Born to Run not even making my top 5 in 75, which kind of blows my mind, this song is perfect. Cramser described it perfectly. So instead of rehashing what it's about, I'll do a little story time with Joe. In college, I was known for writing papers the night before they were due. And in my creative writing class, I had an assignment due, the next day, whatever. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I just throw on Thunder Road, listened to it about 50 to 60 times, and wrote a paper, a short story, based on the feeling I got from listening to Thunder Road. I was pretty much obsessed with the song at the time. Mostly, kind of similar, boy meets girl, but I kind of switched it around. I think the boy kind of leaves the girl in the end when she was pregnant and just drives off. But I threw some of the Bruce Springsteen lyrics in the piece. I think my last chapter ended with "The screen door slams, Mary's dress waves." But the lyrics on that, much better than my short story, although it did get a B+, so pretty proud of that. B+, it could be good, but I think my short story was a little melodramatic, unlike Bruce Springsteen's perfect song, Thunder Road. Favorite of 1975, gotta be top 5 all time for me. So
we had someone in the comments today both pegged you and Cram for Thunder Road too. I don't know who that was, but good job. Nailed it. Sounds like you had some plagiarism issues in your paper though. That's a automatic F.
Well, it got past my teacher. I guess she was not a big Bruce fan. I would just like to say how proud I am of our voters and viewers for picking Gene Clark in 1974. Did not peg that for a winner, but you guys came through. 43% of the vote for no other. I've never been happier in my entire life.
So where are we at on the standings, Joe?
I have pulled within a half a point of you, Jason, and I feel like Thunder Road's going to take me over the top. Right now, it's 8.5 for Jason. It's 8 for me after Gene Clark's victory. Cramser, 4.5, soon to be 5.5 for him, though, when he also wins for Thunder Road in about 5 days.
I was talking to you guys about an idea after the Songs of the Year, where in like a year or two, we start in January and pick a year, 71, 75, 84, whatever, and go week by week about what was released that year. Just throwing that out there live now to see if anyone thinks that might be a cool video idea for the future. Just going in real time throughout an entire year. Just a small video idea. If anyone likes that idea, we could do 75, boom, January through December.
All right, so let us know what you think of 75. What are your favorite songs? What do you think of our lists? Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We are coming up close to 7,000 subscribers, so you can put us over the top. Check the description for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our website. You can go to the website to vote for your favorite of our favorites. 2 choices this week since Cram and Joe doubled up. And look for playlists down there as well with all of our selections on them, as well as a playlist of our least favorite songs and all of our winners from all the years going back to 58. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.